What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you another anime review of Big Order, Episode 2 to be exact. Now, there's a couple of things I need to cover. So, it was confirmed by fellow Chibits last week in the comments below, which I want to thank every individual one of you, thank you so much, but it was confirmed by a bunch of you, and also different, articles and stuff that was sent to me, is that this series, Big Order, is being made by the same studio, the same animation studio, the anime studio that's making this anime, being made by the same studio that made Future Diary, Mirai Nikki. But also, on top of that, the writer of Future Diary / Mirai Nikki is the same person that is writing or wrote Big Order. So, it's very funny, it's a coincidence how the same company and the same writer came together once again to make a new anime series. So, yeah. That's kind of why I feel like this reminded me a lot of Future Diary, and why the pink-haired girl reminded me a lot of Yunogasai. Because now I see the similarities. There's definitely some similarities to the previous series. Now, I don't know exactly which one came first. I don't know if Big Order was before Mirai Nikki. I don't know if Mirai Nikki was before Big Order. I have no idea, because I don't really keep up with the writer of Future Diary. But I will say, however, this episode actually interested me a lot more than the first episode. See, the first episode, it reminded me so much of Future Diary that I was worried that it was pretty much going to be a carbon copy. I really did. And this episode kind of branches off from the exact same thing that was Mirai Nikki. I thought there was going to be some form of survival game, which something like that might still happen. I'm not going to throw that out the window yet, but for the most part, from looking at this episode, the overall theme of it, of conquering territory, it reminds me a lot of Code Geass. That's exactly what this reminds me of. Now, not to the exact same extent, but it reminds me of Code Geass, especially with the main character having to be the leader. He's going to have to gain territory and stuff and, move up and control the nation. It reminds me of that. It really does. And throwing in, like, Future Diary vibes to the mix, it's kind of entertaining. It's entertaining, yes, very entertaining. And now, talking about the character interaction of the main female character and the main male character, okay, let's just put it this way. I don't know how to feel about the main female character, the pink-haired girl that reminds me of Yunogasai, because she pretty much is almost a carbon copy. She's a little bit different, but she's pretty much almost a carbon copy. She wants to kind of kill the main character, which yanderes want to kill, the person they love, but also, on top of that, the pink hair, the style, the whole structure of her character, it reminds me so much of Yunogasai. But then, also the way she was reacting, how she was going to, try to marry our MC. She's like, I won't let you dominate my heart, but we know for a fact that's probably going to happen eventually. So, the overall romance building up here reminds me a lot of Yuki and Yuno. And then, on top of that, of how, you pretty much our main character is controlling the main female character, I'm like, yo, what? So, it reminds me so much of that. And if you could actually, if you like that, if you like Future Diary vibes, if you really love that series, I'm not going to get into the controversial, topic about the series if you love or hate it or not, but if you do like Mirai Nikki, and you like the vibes you're getting from this main female character, I feel like you will like this series. The MC, he's confronted with an issue. He's being blackmailed. He's being blackmailed to be the new king, the ruler of this little land, this new nation. And he's going to have to start going from, different country to country or part of, Japan to take over it and then become the ruler. And that's where the series kind of begins. That's the main plot point of the series. And all the people that's currently working underneath our MC is people that, are trying to blackmail to get their own goals and desires kind of granted. But I'm willing to bet eventually he's probably going to control them with his, domination power and probably manipulate them in a way like he did our main female character, and he'll probably be able to play them all like a fiddle. I'm willing to bet something like that might eventually happen, because he does use his ability at the end of the episode to kind of control them. So maybe he might get out of the way of blackmailing, and he might actually still really want to become a leader of the world, rule the world. Okay, so his sister has a blood disease, and that's pretty fucked up. I'm just gonna say, that's pretty fucked up. The disease to the sister he pretty much says that he wanted his sister to die. Like, he was waiting for her to die. Like, he doesn't want her to die. Let me clarify. He doesn't want her to die, but in a way, it's like he wants her to die for he could finally just make amends for what he has done. For instance, he was living a lie for the last 10 years and didn't want to tell his sister the truth of what really happened to their parents and to the entire world, and she's been dying from a blood disease, and she will die in 6 months. And because of this, he was waiting for her to die for he could finally reveal the truth and finally accept the different things he's done. For instance, people could finally punish him for murdering so many people in the past. And that's kind of honorable, but also the way it's done in this episode, it's like his very dream, what he wanted to do, is pretty much crushed. Because now his sister is frozen in time, and there's a possibility that her blood disease could be cured. And this is a good thing. Relatively, this is a very good thing for the MC. But because he wanted her to die and not know the truth, that leads to the main conflict of this episode, because now she's eventually going to find out about the truth, because it's going to be made public eventually that, our MC is trying to take over the world. The little sister's going to find out, and then, one thing is going to lead to another, and then the issue that he didn't want to address is finally going to be addressed with his sister. So yeah, another thing too is the little sister is not blood related, so yeah. I'm expecting a lot of those, tropes between brother and sister in this series now. I'm now finding that out with this episode. And I wouldn't put it past, the writer of this series to probably make the little sister someone very important towards the end. Maybe someone connected to the First Order that was ever made, for instance, our main character. I would not put it past if she is some order herself, or if she becomes a very big player in the future. Maybe she's been putting on an act her entire life. I have no idea, but I wouldn't put it past the writer. I really wouldn't. After seeing, Future Diary and all that, I wouldn't put it past the writer of this series to kind of not do a certain plot twist with the little sister. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about the opening song and ending song? It reminded me a lot of Future Diary as well, which obviously it's by the same studio that did Future Diary, so I mean, obviously they would try to do something very similar to the anime series of Future Diary. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.